Good morning, everyone. I wanted to speak about something real quick. So, people don't understand really much about the scriptures. Those in the Christian church, I'm speaking of, really, I guess, because they don't really. For one, they're listening to a man tell them what it says. Two, they're living in sin. They're in transgression against the law, right? So they're dumb, deaf, and blind because they're worshiping idols, right? And a lot of them they don't read the Old Testament, the Holy Scriptures, the Old Testament, because they listen to a man tell them that it's all been fulfilled, right? But the Messiah said, "Think not that I come to abolish the law and the prophets, but to fulfill the law and the prophets." Right? What the law and the prophets said about him, what they prophesied about him to do. Right? Deuteronomy 18, he was prophesied to bring all, to teach Israel, which is the people of God, everything they desired at Horeb, right? What did they desire at Horeb? They desired the Holy Covenant, the Ten Commandments. And people aren't following the Ten Commandments. They're not following the covenants of promise because the church tells them that they don't have to follow the law. Well, the Messiah is the law. He is the Torah. So if you have no relationship with the Torah, with the law, then you don't have a relationship with the Messiah. They tell you, oh, all you got to do is love Jesus and talk to Jesus. And they think that's the essence of the relationship. Go to church. But the essence of the relationship is keeping his commandments, right? 1 John 2, 3, and 4. Hereby we know that we know him when we keep his commandments. Whoever says I keep his commandments, whoever says I know him and keeps not his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him, right? So, and people don't rightly divide the word, right? Go back to the beginning when the in the antediluvian period, right? Before the flood, ancient Mesopotamia, right? God called, there was nothing even called a Jew yet. There was no tribes of Israel yet, right? So what were these people? They were Gentiles. They were the nation. They were of one speech and one language, right? They all spoke the same language, different tongues, different dialects, but they all spoke just like here in America. We all speak the same language, right? For the most part, but depending on what region you're in, you have an accent, right? This like I'm from the South, so I'm I'm a little bit country. But there was, in Genesis 10:5, I believe, it talks about the lands of the Gentiles being set up, right? From Noah. He was called out of the nations, right? And given a promise. There was nothing called a Jew until like 2 Kings, I believe. After the promise of the covenant was given to Abraham, and the seed came from Jacob, right? Jacob, who was, his name was changed to Israel. Israel's a people, not a place. And these are where the 12 tribes came from. You know, Abraham was a Gentile called out by God. His father was an idol maker, right? He was from the land of Ur, of the Chaldees, right? Babylon. They were still all... He was called out. And so these tribes, you know, there was nothing... the Jews is just one tribe. It's the tribe of Judah, right? There's 11 other tribes. People don't rightly divide the word. They don't understand that this is where we came from. This is who we are. We're supposed to come out of the world. The Christian church is the church of Babel. They made a covenant with death. We're to come out of the world. Come out of the world, my people, so you receive not of her plagues. Come out of the world and keep the holy covenant, so you receive not of the plagues that will come upon the earth, the whole world. They say we're separated. We're separated unto Paul, you know, but they claim the Messiah, and they don't call him by his real name, but they only follow the doctrines of Paul, and they twist Paul's scriptures because they're hard to understand, right? They can't understand them because they're following idols. They worship many gods, but they say they worship and love one God, but they don't do what he says. Like, it's messed up, man. Idolatry is the sin that leads to death. And they do it every day. You have to be grafted into Israel, right? There's no distinction between Greek or Jew in the Israel of God. If you're grafted in, you're Israel. 2 houses, northern kingdom, southern kingdom. 12 tribes. The true vine. I just wanted to get on here for a second and try to bring some light to that, right? Okay, let's look at this word Gentile, right? It means nations. It means heathen. Like the original people, these people were Gentiles, right? It means nation. They were a nation. Okay, kind of break that word down. Gene, tile. If you look up the definition for tile, right? It's a slab of baked clay, right? Made from the dust of the earth, the potter's clay, right? The vessels, right? This is what he used to make his people out of, and he called them by a different name, Israel. Just something interesting to think about. I hope this was edifying. I hope you keep the covenants of promise. Ephesians 2:12, covenants of promise. Be grafted in. Seek ye the old paths, y'all.